artist and art educator based in San Jose and Palo Alto in California. And in my work, I explore the medieval scientific manuscripts, particularly Persian, Arab, and early modern European ones. And I also study the knowledge that happened through these scientific manuscripts and the connection that created between the East and the West at the time. I research medieval math, cartography, botanical gadget, and optics. I'm fascinated by the illustrations of these scientific manuscripts, and in my art I try to highlight the visual elements and the significance of visual elements in early science. So the work of these Muslim scientists are important because they developed science during the medieval period. They also translated the Greek texts, and therefore by translating and reproducing the manuscripts of the Greeks, they preserved that knowledge for future generations to use. Medieval Islamic science is 7th to 15th century, and Arabic was the formal language for production of these scientific manuscripts. So majority of these manuscripts were written or translated into Arabic. One of the examples is the pages of Demetrio Medica that was originally written by the Greek scientist Dioscorides in 1st century in Greece, and it was translated into Arabic. And this is one of the first botanical manuscripts that was translated into Arabic, therefore it was preserved. The bottom row are the pages of Al-Gafigi, Herbal of Al-Gafigi. This is a medicinal botanical manuscript from 12th century Andalusia, and it was written in Arabic by Al-Gafigi himself. Sometimes commentators pen their thoughts as marginalia, and therefore they kind of created a dialogue that happened between them and the author and the future fellow reviewers. Marginalia is a section around the main text in a manuscript, and manuscripts were designed to have more space around them, and therefore, these are the marginalia. Therefore, the fellow reviewers could just, pen their thoughts over there, and this worked like similar to blogs and how people comment on a blog to this day. So this process of image making and creating the marginalia was closely intertwined with this transmission of knowledge between different scientists in different periods. So these are some of the medieval maps. Medieval maps are, I'm just going to sit down. The medieval maps are very stylized, and they are not considered map as we know them, but they are important to study because they present some kind of imagination of scientists during medieval and early modern time, and we can just see how they perceive the world. So since the beginning of this project, I was after creating my own visual language. As a graphic designer, I'm obsessed with text and printed media, and as a painter and printmaker, I'm obsessed with form. So immediately when I looked at these manuscripts, I started seeing these texts as these black silhouettes. So these black silhouettes are not random shapes, but also they contain the scientific text within them. Toby Huff in his book says that modern science is the product of intercivilizational encounters, the interaction and dialogues between the living and the dead, involving Greeks, Persians, Arabs, and Northern Europeans. Following this idea, I started creating a series of screen prints that features scientists from different periods. that they were either influenced by each other's theories or thoughts, or they worked on the same topics even though they were centuries apart. One of the examples is Kepler and Alhazen over here. These are the first, this one is the first diagram of the eye created by Alhazen in 11th century, and Kepler developing his ideas over the lenses and the field of optics. He looked at Alhazen's work. So I created all these shapes, and then I create installations, creating these shapes and reproducing them with black plexiglass. And then this one is called lore, and it starts very organized, like as the scientific pages are, and in the center it becomes, in a kind of systematic sense, disorganized. And this disorganization is a comment of the loss of information and the reinterpretation of scientific, texts and the act of eradication. And this is a view of my solo show last year, where I featured Nexus and Lore together. Those silkscreen works series are called Nexus. I continue doing this, creating black silhouettes with the maps, and then using those, I create installations. Currently, I'm only working on the bodies of water around the world and how it was perceived in the medieval maps. This is also another installation at University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth. I presented 4 major bodies of water in Middle East and Mediterranean, and then I projected moving waves that came to the shore. The moving waves that came to the shore is a metaphor for the situation that refugees are right now, and they're dealing with, and their journey through these bodies of water. And even though it's very dangerous, they want to do it. But in the medieval time, these bodies of water were used to basically as a sign of life. They were sources of life and prosperity, and they were used to exchange ideas and goods. So by kind of juxtaposing the water we have now of those, and with those that in historic time, I'm kind of trying to comment on this socio-political situation we are in and compare it to that historic time of those bodies of water. I also create black silhouettes of my botanical manuscript pages, and with those I create installations. The top installation on the left is called the Gafigi Garden, which is after the herbal of Al-Gafigi. And in that installation, I just wanted to release these plants and just present them on the wall like they are in a garden. On the bottom installation, I used paper, mylar, threads, paint, and wood, and the lighter materials such as paper and threads and mylar respond to viewers when they pass by this installation. They start moving, and it's similar to that moving of plants in a garden in the breeze. Looking closer at the manuscripts, I discovered vouvelles. Vouvelles are paper wheel charts and are the first paper analog computers from the medieval time. Vouvelles were made out of paper, and they were installed inside scientific manuscripts to make them interactive, and scientists used them to calculate celestial problems. They used beautiful calligraphic text and numbers, and they also had a lot of illustrations that used beautiful colors and images. And they also were made with discs that they were pin in the center, but each disc could just spin independently. So I made some of my vulvels after the original models. As you can see on the top, the left part is the original from 13th century and the right is mine. And the yellow ones are actually vulvels that were used for navigation. And then I also made some imaginary vulvels. In these imaginary vulvels, I wanted to just construct various points of view of different periods and different scientists. So these imaginary vulvels contain knowledge from different cultures and different scientists, and they have different shapes as well. Creating these vulvels, I had to first look at the design and then laser cut the wood pieces for the base of the vulvel, and then I made the images on paper using silkscreen, watercolor, ink, and then I stretched my paper on top of the wood, and these are sprayed with archival spray that prevent them from yellowing and getting dust, therefore they can be hung on a wall as objects, and I also create installations with them. This is another installation view from my solo show last year. Right now, I'm at Kala Art Institute. I have a fellowship residency. It started in January 2017 and goes up to July. For this residency, I thought that I wanted to delve deeper into the herbal of Al-Gafigi. This is one of the most cohesive medicinal botanical manuscript from Andalusia, 12th century. And I'm using a facsimile research project of McGill University in Montreal, Quebec. And in this book, there are many images of medieval plants and their healing properties. The first thing I did was to design a botanical vulvel where people can just interact with it, and they would move various parts, and when they move these different parts, they can see the healing properties of each plant that I have selected to put on this vulvel. Another project that I'm doing in this fellowship residency is kind of studying these medieval plants a little bit closer, and similar to the botanical manuscript drawings, I'm drawing these plants based on the original images, and I use digital process and create garden compositions. And then I printed these garden compositions on silk organza. And silk organza is transparent, and I want that transparency in my installation. The installation will be called Folding Gardens, and the Folding Gardens will be a few silk organza strips that are 10 feet tall, and they will be hung from the ceiling. And the idea is that you can fold these gardens and take them with you anywhere and everywhere, and you can open them. And then the folding gardens will be accompanied to wall shelves. On one of the shelves, I will present the folding version of these gardens, and on another shelf, I will present the plants extracts, so visitors can interact with these jars and smell the aroma, and they're also encouraged to walk between these strips and see the design up close. So for me, this installation engages the senses of sight, smell, and touch all at the same time, and I mean to evoke the power of nature. The idea for folding garden comes from my fascination with folding process in nature. Like flowers and leaves constantly fold and unfold. So I thought a foldable fabric can change shape and size, and as a result can become portable. Another inspiration for this installation comes from my birthplace, which is Shiraz. Shiraz is the southern city in Iran and is famous for its medicinal herbal practice, and to this date is a big part of people's healthy diet. And this installation will be installed at Kala Gallery in July, and the exhibition will open on July 27th. Thank you.
Question?